Good afternoon, friends. Welcome to the next series of this topic of Triple E, that is the illumination. Uh, I hope in previous session you all were gone through the type of the lamps, fixers and the reflectors. Let's go with the different types of the illumination schemes that are going to be used for the domestic premises, industrial one and the commercial one. Then we'll go to the last to the lumen requirement for the different categories. We'll try to do the designing of that particular, what are the factors related to lumens and what are the methods which will belong to that one, and in the last we will summarize all that things, all content what we have gone through today, so we will have a better revision and the idea of the same. Let's go with the first one, that is the different types of the illumination scheme. The schemes are, we frequently go through this lightning schemes. We observe that one. It may happen that we might don't know that such schemes are there. Let's list out first of all that scheme. The first one is the direct lighting, then the indirect lighting scheme, semi-direct lighting, semi-indirect lighting, local lighting, general lighting scheme, and the diffuse lighting scheme. Let's go with the direct lighting scheme. Direct lighting generally deals with this, as the word or as the name it indicates, that most or the major light will throw onto the object, or it is going to reach onto the object in that particular case. To make that possible, what we can have, we can use the additional things like reflectors are there, or some concentrators are there, which are really going to helpful to make that almost 100%, not exactly 100%, because there is going to be the losses into the system, or when the lights are going to be from source to the object, it may or it is going to have the losses. So light is directly thrown in such scheme. Reflectors give the additional help, but the restriction is that they may not be the deeper one, otherwise the illumination is not going to be the proper in that particular case, and the thing or the definition of the direct lighting is not going to be the possible in that case. We can mount height which is going to, or the source mounting, that must not be low, otherwise the glare problem is going to be there. The glare is the thing which will tease in our eyes, and we feel that a object is not seen properly, or whatever the work we want to do, that is not going to be done properly. As I said, the more than 90% of the light in such case is downward. Downward means from source to the object, and the 10% is upward. Upward means it can fall onto the ceiling, or it can go onto the sides of the wall. Let's go with the understanding of the diagram. If we can observe, these are all the same schemes are there, but I have taken a different view so we can understand the schemes very easily. See the direct lighting. This is the source, maybe some lamp, bulb is going to be there, tube light is going to be there. It's directly fall means it is all the light, major light is going to coming at the downward side, so that's why it is known the direct one. So this is the source, top is the source, and over here bottom we have a object can be anything. Similarly, the same diagram which will show that this particular light is going to spread into the all direction, we can understand easily. This is one boundary or the line which is curve shown of the lamp. Now the direct lighting means again this all the rays are coming at the bottom side or at the downward side, so that is the case, or that is called the direct lighting. So the major light, as we said, 90% will go to the downwards and 10% will be spread outside, so major focus will be there onto our object. Such lighting scheme is known as the direct lighting scheme. Indirect lighting, the opposite of the same, means the direct lighting, whatever happen into the direct lighting, that opposite will goes to the indirect one. It means that simply we can say, in case of direct lighting, the 90% is going to come downward. In this case 90% will go onto the upward side, the opposite direction compared to the direct one. 10% will go at the downward indirect one, it will be the opposite, it will go upward into the indirect one. So in case of such scheme, no light is directly reaches to the object. Now when we study these schemes, it's basically depends on to the application or at which place we are going to use such lighting schemes. So when we require the less amount of the light which is not going to directly fall onto the object or our purpose, that particular is known as the indirect lighting. So in that case, what happened, the scheme, no light directly reaches to the object. In the scheme, the reflectors are mounted on the bulb and all light is thrown onto the wall or ceiling. So all the lights will go onto the upside, very less amount of the light, only the purpose we can visualize or see will come to the downward side. We might find that we go into the some clubs, some restaurants, cinema halls, or some halls where the lighting scheme is too dull, suiting to the atmosphere. So in that case, the example will suited for the indirect lighting scheme. Such lighting scheme is free from the glare, so no light is falling is coming directly onto the object, so human eye will feel a better thing if it is required, and so glare chances are going to be the much more reduced in case of the indirect lighting scheme, or it is free from that. Almost 90% of the light is upward side, means from source to the ceiling side or onto the wall side. 10% will fall, or 10% indirectly it is going to come onto the object in the case of indirect lighting scheme. Same example of the indirect lighting scheme. See, the diagram is going to be the opposite. This is going to be the source, this is going to be the object, means right now that is going to work as a ceiling on which we want to go with the lighting scheme. The next diagram, same of the revision, that source is there and it is going to fall onto the ceiling or our object. Now from that, this is going to, this particular arrow shows that these lights are going to reflect. Now these lights are going to be of the 10%, the amount is going to be the 10%, while it is going to upward, that is the 90%. With reference to the previous one, the same curve, the lamp architecture is drawn, source is over here, and this lighting are going to be the upward side. So almost all the light is going to at the ceiling side or the upward side when suitable, or when it is going to be used for our application. So again, the depends on to the application, all the schemes are going to be correlate, can be changed, can be interchange. Next one is the semi-direct. First one was the direct, and now if we want all the light must not go on to the object, that scheme will be, and it may happen that the object is going to visualize properly. In that case, it will go to the semi-direct lighting scheme. So in this case, 60% or more light is reaching to the surface, not 90%, not 100%, but the 60% edge is going to reach onto the object from the source, and the rest of the going to the wall or ceiling on that particular side. Now if the height of the lamp is high enough and the reflectors used are not too deep, so light fall on the wall and then reaches to the floor after the reflection, it means that our height of the source we have to control. If we control the height of the source and the using of the reflector in such way that required amount of the light can fall onto the wall, and then it is by the reflection it will go and fall onto the object, so that particular things is going to be the semi-direct lighting scheme. Example with respect to the same thing or reference to the M1, the reference is our source. From the source, some light is going to onto the upward side and rest of the light will come into the lower side. So this particular amount is going to vary from 60 to 80%, particular light is going to be there, and the rest of will go onto the upward side. So that is going to be the semi-direct lighting scheme. The same scheme with the help of another diagram, we can show that from the source over here, this is the source, some light is going to upward direction, some is coming the downward direction, and the reflection is there. Curve or the plate of the bulb is there, that particular thing, and the again the rays are going upward side and so many rays are going to come at the downward side. So that is known as the semi-direct lighting scheme. Semi-indirect lighting scheme, so opposite of the semi-direct lighting scheme. In this case, 60% or more light is reaching to the surface through the reflection, so indirectly that particular amount of the illumination or the light will fall onto the object, not the direct one, and the rest will come through the surface to be directly illuminated from the source. So in previous case 60% coming directly, 40 ideal condition coming through the walls or from the reflectors. In this case 40% will come to the directly at the source, and the 60% will go and come with the reflection or the indirect method. So that is why it's known as the semi indirect lighting scheme. It happens when mounting height of the lighting source is low. So if the source height is going to be the low, so direct light will be the lesser one, but the indirect lighting is going to be the higher one. Such scheme is useful for indoor domestic lighting. So at our home purpose we can go for the domestic side, we can probably go for this particular lighting scheme. The advantage or the usefulness of the same is it is free from the glare and pleasing to the eye with globes and the reflectors. So by using the proper globes and the reflectors kind of thing, what can happen, it can suit to our eyes. Ultimately the lighting is going to be used for our suitability, our usefulness. So at home we might feel that this particular light is going to be very much suitable or which is useful to us. So in that case we can go with the semi indirect lighting scheme. The diagram for the same, source, some light or some rays are going to coming downward side, some is going to up the upward side. So in that case indirect one, the 40% is only going to come directly, the rest of the variation up to the 50 to 60% or again 40 to 50% will go indirect one. Reference again with respect to one diagram, the source surface is there, most of the light is going to be the upward side because it is indirect one, and the direct lighting percentage is going to be the lesser one. So in that this way all this particular lighting scheme which is very useful is going to work. Local lighting, by the mean of the local we can say that the amount of the light or the illumination which is going to fall at a particular object, a small area. So in such type of lighting, a particular object is illuminated. Suppose a table lamp for the study purpose we are going to use, or going for the industrial side, a lathe machine or a tool machine is there where specific lighting is required, a small bulb or required illumination type can be used and the put onto that particular object or nearer to that particular object. So illumination is more or lighting effect is more to that particular area only. So such type of lighting in that case is going to known as the local, which is going to use for a small area, not for the wider one. So local, only the surrounding or the nearby area where the lighting schemes is going to apply or it is going to be used, that is known as the local lighting. General lighting, general, local is local and the general is the general. So widespread lighting is going to be there, which is the general lighting. In such type of lighting is going to be in collaboration with the local lighting. So in local lighting what happen, the spots are going to be fixed, but in general lighting it may happen some shadows are going to be there with respect to the local lighting. So that shadows or the gloomy parts are going to be the overcome in the case of general lighting. What happen into the industrial area, the chance of the accidents are going to be there if we are going to use only the local lighting. So in addition of the local lighting, some general lighting is also going to be the compulsory, so we can see the object or the space which is not covered by the local lighting. So that particular area is going to illuminated or the proper amount of the light is going to fall onto that particular object or that particular space. So chance of the accident is going to be avoided with the help of general lighting. Diffuse lighting. Now in this particular lighting there is no reflector, no kind of stuffs are going to be used. This is going to be there to give us the uniform lighting. So where we require the actual or the uniform lighting, we can use the diffuse lighting. There is use of any sort of there is no use of any shot or the cover or the reflector to become the hurdle in between the lighting to reach at the wall, floor or any object. The diagram for the same, see diffuse lighting, no cover is there, nothing is there, whatever the ideal condition is there, the bulb or the source of the illumination is there, it is going to illuminate the particular rays, and uniformly it will be distributed according to or nearby area. So for a small area around that one, we can or we are able to use the lightning into the uniform manner, and that will be happen due to the diffuse lightning scheme. We talk about the direct lighting, indirect, semi-direct, semi-indirect one, local lighting, general lighting, diffused one. Now we want to design that one. How will come to know in this particular area we are going to require, or we require this much of the lightning? So there are some points and which related or on which this particular lightning schemes are going to depend. It is not that we are going to have or we can use particular lighting at any of the place. So yes, we have to calculate, so the efficiency is going to be better, optimum technique or optimization can be there, so optimal things can be come together, and there is going to be the fruitful use of the lightning scheme which we are going to use, and certainly that things are going to come with respect to the good lightning scheme. So designing or that part will be the next one. Requirement of the good lighting. Why we require a good lighting? Because good lighting scheme work in such manner that there is no strain onto the eye of a human being or person which is going to work into that particular area or under that particular commercial, industrial, domestic, they are not going to feel any kind of the pressure. So one cannot see the object properly when the any kind of process of work, if light is too dim. There is two part of the coin. If light is too dim, then also we are not going to see the object properly. Opposite of the same, what happened if the light is more, again the human eye cannot tolerate that one, and we are not able to see the object properly. Dim is there, object will be not seen. Very much high or full light is there, what happened, I will feel the glare and we are unable to do the work. So the efficient work cannot be done if the illumination scheme or the lighting scheme is not going to be the proper, and that's why there is a designing is required. So this good lighting scheme is going to be like that. Object is also going to seen properly, and a human eye or our body is not going to feel the stress during the work. Now the factor which should be considered while planning the lighting scheme. So now it is going to depends on to the factors. So it will depends on which factors. The first one is the level of the illumination. Second is absence of glare. So illumination level we have to decide. Glare should be not there. Contrast is required. Shadows are